On a bright, sunny afternoon, 3 strangers find themselves aboard the Bonnie Lass, heading towards Aladar's capital city of Minoran. Carefully watching over a young wood elf as his mother is overcome by seasickness is the young Finetta Starkiller. Cheerful, friendly, and a long way from home, the monk in training and cleric to Pelor is on her way to complete her pilgrimage. Keeping an eye on the excitement, but remaining aloof, the striking Alizella's hands tighten on her bag, the knowledge of her illegal cargo weighing heavily in the back of her mind. And attending the elven mother, Dr. Amsden Nightbrace exudes a calming and confident presence for those on board. The tall, handsome doctor had caught the eye of many single women during the trip, but the wedding ring placed prominently on his finger had kept his voyage relatively uneventful. The ship suddenly lurches, sending the travelers flying across the boat, and turns towards an oncoming ship bearing a black flag. The pirates quickly set upon the Bonnie Lass, led by the dark-haired pirate Captain Hartford. Taking the young elven boy Levi as hostage, Captain Hartford manages to relieve each of the party members of a precious item. Finetta of Pelor's lantern, her sacred relic, Amsden's locket, and Ollie's illicit firearms. Desperate for their belongings back, the group inquires about the pirates at the local dive bar, Mermaid's Tail. Eventually, the local folktales lead them to the island's edge. Aiding in their travels is the devilish Fen, whose open flirting plays right into Ollie's wheelhouse, much to Finetta's dismay. During their trip, Amsden is plagued by the sounds of the crashing ocean waves at night, but brushes it off. After not so gracefully navigating their way down a steep cliff face, the group finds the cove that the pirates are hiding in, and immediately are set upon by the Siren and 3 pirates. Taking their final stand against Pirate Captain Hartford, the group emerges victorious, but they do not leave unscathed. With her dying breath, the Siren grabs Amsden and fills his mind with a mysterious song. Their belongings returned to them, the party spends a final night in Pakalia to rest. Unfortunately, Finetta's bleeding heart for the heartbroken Fen disturbs the many birds kept by the eccentric Prancing Peacock Inn's owner, leaving Finetta and Ollie without their beauty sleep. The group manages to procure passage on the Sleeping Siren with Captain Isray, an ex of Captain Hartford's. After a week of labor on the Sleeping Siren, the party finally makes their way to the seedy city of Minoran. Not even in town for 15 minutes, they attract the attention of the city guard and meet their new companion, Emeritus Speck, in the middle of a back alley interrogation. Greeted, and then arrested for forged traveling papers by Second Ardle, the group is given a chance to expunge their records if they investigate a mysterious case in the small town of Ovenhelm, where children have been going missing every night for the past 4 days. Agreeing to take on the job, the party is freed, but the resident rogue has one more trick up her sleeve. Seeing a kindred spirit in Amsden, Ollie concocts a plan to retrieve her confiscated cargo. A daring attempted break-in leaves Ollie stranded in a compromised position, but thanks to the ineptitude of a certain officer, she was let off the hook. Meanwhile, Meredith Speck continues to make waves throughout Minoran in her search for the Red Woman, Amber Red. She hits a roadblock at a seedy bar, but is given a tip to check out a pawn shop with connections to the black market. Knocking at the door late at night, she agrees to owe a favor to the owner in exchange for information. The group then heads to Ovenhelm, and after some investigation, they uncover the murder of Sarah Silentglide, a young woman who practiced divination magic within the village and worshipped the god Savras, a familiar thorn in Amsden's side. The townsfolk, afraid of the strange predictions Sarah was making, took justice into their own hands and silenced her once and for all. Hitting a dead end with the town's mayor and the townsfolk themselves, the group discovers that Sarah was beloved by most of the children in the village. So, late at night, the party waited at the remains of Sarah's home and followed the tiny footprints of the mayor's daughter as she is called by some unknown force into the forest. In a dimly lit clearing, the party finally comes face to face with Sarah, or what remained of her. Ignoring her pleas to leave her and the children be, they finally put to rest her soul and find the children safe and sound in a small cottage at the edge of the woods. Returning to the village, Amsden warns the mayor and the town that Sarah's soul could still yet return, and they only have their own ignorance to blame for their own misfortunes. As the party spends one last night in the town of Ovenhelm, they are given a small symbol of hope in the mayor's maid Minette, who bears the mark of Mystra. The party returns to Minarod, set to go their separate ways, but fate was not yet done with them.